So the real thing is actually part of a bigger project, which is a documentary approach that Benoît Felici started for French television Arte, which was a reflection around the global phenomenon of copycat architecture. These very intriguing spaces where you can have real high-end Eiffel Tower, almost the size of the real one. You have a Taj Mahal sitting in the middle of Africa. You have plenty of interesting facade architecture all around the world.
I'm really interested in VR projects that tell story through space. And The Real Thing obviously really does that. I'd love to hear some of the ways that you thought about bringing that space to life as a story.
Well, The Real Thing was very interesting for me because it's about human inside architecture. So in a way, this story was perfect for VR because VR is so great to get a feeling of scale and to get a feeling of actually being there. You can have a very interesting and powerful testimony of the life of people there. So the first decision was to be true to architecture. And the second main decision we made was, and that was a tricky one, was to be true to the people we would meet there and to have the full documentary narrated by them.
One piece I was really taken with was that I didn't realize it was the Eiffel Tower replica until later in the piece. I thought that was a really powerful reveal. How did you tell stories like that where there's payoffs the audience didn't even realize was being set up?
Well, it's really interesting because we all have a vision of the city for the European audience, but even for the global audience, because we all know the city and those architecture. So when we first started to write the project, the idea was that the full film would be some kind of a wandering around those spaces. We wanted the film to look like we are going through the spaces as a poetic wanderer, so that you can actually play with revealing the stuff. You can actually play with how much of the real thing actually is there compared to how much is the actual Chinese vision of the architecture. China doesn't want to be the center of the world. It wants to be the center that holds and contains the world. And the second aspect that is very interesting is these places kind of are virtual worlds, tangible, physical, virtual places. And so for me, it was, as an artist, as a VR artist, it was very interesting to see how much people are willing to live in these virtual spaces and how much of the original thing they want to feel that they are living there, or how much they are bringing to these places that are virtually copycats of the original. So this is even a meta-reflection about what is actually VR and what is a virtual spaces.